Editor me. So in the footage you're about to see, I forgot to undo a specific thing in OBS. So you might see a loading screen here in the middle of your screen. That is not you, that is on me. Bye. Okay, so I forget what rounds these are. I don't know if it's 1 or 0, whatever. All I did was take out my main sideboard. I'm playing main board Captain Kano. So straight 60. The list will be in the description of what it was. It'll be version 1. I still have the clarity in there as I did not have the intellect potion yet. I usually bring in 2 scours and cut some miscellaneous zap for those and put the other items on the side. As you can see, I did acquire a full art Kano there. So we're going to fast forward real quick. So here, this is my first time using a GoPro that my brother let me use. So next time I will be sticking with my phone to have a better angle of the cards. We'll turn the volume up here so we can kind of hear what they're saying. I can see that we have a sonic boom, a potion, and something else. They banish a shadow puppetry, which we can't see due to my inability to check where we are. I'm grabbing my dice here. So they banished shadow puppetry, they played an aura, and they are searching up with Galaxia, I believe that card is. And they got another aura. And I am messing around with my dice some more. Let's fast forward to an actual turn here. I got some actual fab dice now to assist with that. We're going to fast forward a little bit more. I Kano'd here with one of my blues, so I had overflow, sonic boom, and a kindle. I got a potion off the top. I believe they went to pass turn, said, okay, I got some cards. That's a red overflow, my bad. I could Kano again, technically, off the... which I actually do. Here at the end of the turn, Galaxia didn't have go again, so they don't have another action point. Right now I'm just trying to fish for some extra cards. I can Kindle on my own turn to get some extra damage. I can banish this Photon Splicing even though I can't cast it. I don't, because I don't want it in my hand, even though it is a blue. We're just trying to dig for, honestly, a Scour or some additional potions at this time. I don't think we'll get this pitch deck, so, but it's in a good habit to stack cards in a way that it would matter for pitch deck. And then we'll go back in turn. We both draw up. Let's see what we get. We'll pause here in a second. So we got blue, Kindle, Lessons, and it looks like another blue. So another Destructive Aether Tide. So on this turn, obviously let's go through Tunic real quick as I'm thinking through the turn. I probably should just send Lessons on Lava, see what the Arcane Barrier. If they Arcane Barrier the full thing, which they are on 4 in Spell Void. Helmet. If they Arcane Barrier, then just can off the top looking for a potion. If they don't, here I would look for the Wildfire. We only have 1 potion, but it is good to have an arsenal. They can disrupt it. I could... 2. We have just confirmed Spell Void 2, AB4. You're unable to hear. So again, I think the line here, I should just send Lessons looking for Wildfire. If they only hit for 1, I probably should get Gaze the Ages as a blue to Arcano again. And opt for another thing as I cast a wizard spell. Be able to find more options off the top, potentially another potion, because Gaze the Ages would go back to hand. I do buff it to 4, which they're AB4 anyway, so they can AB all of it. I think they would just AB blue. I'm considering kindling it. But that'd be incorrect play. You want to hold the Kindle. I always like explaining my cards. Some people don't always play the Kano matchup as it is not the most interesting one. Again, explaining Kano's abilities as playing my non-attack actions as instant off the top, but this is my action point. See how much they Arcane Barrier. So they do Arcane Barrier 0, so here I should just Kano off the top, see what it is. I have 1 floating, so I should be able to play whatever. We have a Spindle, so we can banish it and Kindle in hopes to get a resource. We could get any card, it could be a red, and we can Spindle again, trying to strip a second card. I think that is a good option as opposed to drawing into it. So here I should banish it, Kindle, and play it hitting for 5, and I get to opt 1. There are some use cases where you would just Arsenal Kindle and drop the Spindle as a block card. But I think since they already pitched a card, interesting. So I'll see how my turn goes here. Next, I think I should have Kindled there. Since they already pitched one card, we can try and strip another card. And I'm not Arsenaling the Kindle, which I think is also incorrect at this point, so I could get that extra card, especially with the full red hand, whereas I would have drawn Wildfire. Let's back it up a second. Let's see what the exact order was of how cards. So we have Kindle here, middle card. So this card next to Kindle is the one that we drew first, which is what we would have drawn off Kindle. So right next to Kindle, it was the Wildfire, sorry. So the one next to this. So we would have drawn into Wildfire. In that instance, I would have just gone to pass. Yeah, it'd be unfortunate. I wouldn't have cast the Spindle, but I would have Wildfire for Arsenal already. Deathly Whale. I forget which one that is. I think that's the make a rune chant for each one is banished. So here, my plan is probably just block with everything but Wildfire and Kindle. Take the arcane barrier, take the rune chants, and hope Succumb doesn't hit us. If they do, we'll just banish Kindle. Oh, they passed turns. They did not. They have the rune chants for it, but they just passed. Knowing that, I'm tempted to just pay 2 with the Blazing and Kindle to send Spindle for 4. We get to opt 1, putting anything other than a blue to the bottom, and Arsenal the Wildfire.
I forgot to Arsenal.
And then here I found out I didn't Arsenal the Kindle. Here we'll, if we get to hit for 1. We'll get if we hit, because they do have 4, which I don't think they would AB again. So I 100%, since they AB forward the lessons, they pitched 2 cards, because there's no way they had Tunic yet. As I went second, they would have not been on Tunic turn 1. So I should have 100% send the Spindle. They pitched 2 cards. But here we'll see how much they Arcane Barrier, and then we should be able to opt some cards. And then we would have seen, this would have been the card I hit 4. So this first card we'll see. I make sure you don't opt, so we would have drawn into another flare. I clearly didn't shuffle properly. So with this opt, knowing that we are arsenaling Wildfire, I would just drop the use everything but Flare and Ruby. Flare I can guarantee as a block, but I could also put other cards at the bottom. In this matchup I don't need Clarity. I think I can kill them even through the AB4 Spell Void 2 without the Clarity. We just need additional resources to get through, so that's why I'm thinking 100% keep the Ruby Amulet. Aether Flare you could keep or pitch. I would use it just as a block. You're probably better off just putting it to the bottom, as they are going to hit you for enough. You could keep the Clarity as Rune Chant Disruption resources as a guaranteed blue as well. I could see that option, but it's also a non-block. So depending on what you think they're going to do with their hand, if they have Succumb to Temptation, you can keep the blue. So your options are just keep Ruby, Bob, and everything, or keep the 2 blues, 1 for resources, 1 to play on your turn, and have the other cards hopefully for a block. That's what I'm thinking. I should keep the Ruby Amulet no matter what, but you can put those 3 at the bottom. And we guarantee a second Energy Potion and Tunic for a setup. Apparently time hasn't started in a round yet, so they're saying we've already started. We're going to go fast forward a little bit because I was listening to the judge. I am putting all 3 to the bottom, keeping the potion on top. And then we'll have Wildfire and Arsenal, and hopefully we'll have a potion to be able to play without Succumb. Fast forward through what the judge is saying. So we draw up 4 blues, so we can Arcane Barrier, Rune Chants. Didn't hear what they banished. Let's back up. Okay, they're giving their card Overpower from Machinations. Not gonna go back and find out what they banished. Looks like they have 2 playable here in their banish. 1. And it gives go again. Deathly Whales when they banished last turn. I like putting out my dice just for the visual aid.
Just so I don't forget.
6 go again.
6
With
overpower.
overpower. So they only had 3 rune chants. So they were a little slow on the rune chant generation there. I banished the floodgate because it's not something I'm going to cast, and then I can block only 3 here. And I would only want to block 3 because of actually no, if I could block 6.
Yeah, I wish I had another one of these because it gives the overpower and go again.
I'm thinking, I'd probably just block 3 to keep a blue for Kano potential. They get to make 2 rune chants on the closed chain, so depending on what they banished, we could potentially do it as well. Or make 1 rune chant. Oh. Funeral Moon. Now 2 life is lost, so that they make 1 off that and the attack action. So they'll have 3 rune chants to send whatever else is banished. See what the next card is. Widespread Ruin. I forget which one that is. That is on top? Top that. Okay, so they just explained it again if the audio isn't clear enough that it is the top card.
I'm either taking 3 there or 3 there because I want this card.
Oh yeah, I'm deciding. I decided to take the 4 rune chance and block 3 physical because it's the same amount of damage absorption. It's if they have circumtentation, they have circumtentations, which would suck. I always play around that card because it's such an interesting one. Just explaining that hey, he already attacked, and he missed his trigger here. But since this is a casual match, I didn't really care that much. But I like to let people know that missed triggers are fairly important in higher level events. All I can do is play my potion, take up my tunic, and hopefully draw some gas. Hoping for a bunch of blues. We got 2 blues and the yellow. So here's probably just a blocking hand. Resources wise, maybe send overflow with tunic. Normally you want to block with your non-blues to Kano off the top. We have 2 potions, which is fairly nice. So I can see this as just a full block. Now they're playing a card from hand, 3 for 7 with 1 rune chant, and recreating a new one. So I can pitch the red for the rune chant and block 6. I'm probably going to take the rune chant because they have no 2 cards in hand. Sorry. So against Succumb to Temptation is always an interesting card that we could play around. Honestly, I'll probably just take the 1 rune chant and block 3, so we can Kano off the top and potentially Gaze the Ages to get a card back. Is what my thought process is, and we could we could probably just double block. Blocking the rune chant is a good way to play around Succumb to Temptation, and then block with the yellow. We're at 19, they're at 34. Honestly, I would have just blocked 3 of the 7, take 4, go down to 15. Kano off the top. Hopefully it's just a zap. And we can ping them. And send Gaze the Ages as our action point to opt 2 to find a Deja Vu potion. Is what we're really looking for at this point. But I could also just hardcast Gaze the Ages to find something off the top. Now we can't cast it, but we can filter our hand to try and find a potion, which is unoptimal. I honestly would have just taken Rune Chant, take the 1, play around Succumb to Temptation, block with yellow and red. No, not play around Succumb because I'm taking the Arcane Rune. I would still play it by blocking the 6, we take 1. And we wouldn't because Rune Chants, not Rune Chants, but attack dealt damage. So we have Kindle and a blue, which is decent to combo with, depending on what else we draw into. We got lessons, ooh, double lessons. So here, I probably would like to just honestly send lessons on our own turn with Kindle, searching another Kindle. just to thin out if we can't get another potion here. Let's see how their turn turns out. They have what looks like 2 rune chants. I really should have pushed up the GoPro. The downside of the GoPro is I can't see the live footage without messing with it, whereas on my phone I can consistently see what it is. So from here on out, I should, not from this round out, but next time I do stuff, I should be just recording with my phone. Another 3 for 7 or 6. Hard to see what the card is, especially when I'm putting cards in front of the camera. I need to get a better habit of doing that. Here, 6 with 2 rune chants. Realistically, I still just want to send these 3 cards. Take the maybe the rune chance, I guess, and take 6, or no, take the 2, block 3. It's still 5. Take 2. No, 5 versus 6. Yeah, you're blocking 3 versus blocking 2. So you take the 2 rune chance, block 3. You take 5 versus taking 6, and I can still send this. Because we're already down a Kindle. It should not maybe. You should just block the 3. At least you block the most damage that way. Otherwise, I'll have to maybe here block 6 and okay, correct there. And then yeah, block with just lessons for 3, taking 3. Nice, no circumtentations. I'm always playing around that card. It's super annoying to take a card from my hand. So they are breaking, no, not breaking. They're using their boots to play an action and instant speed. Edward's Dirge. Alright, so they're just making more rune chants. Because they played it as instant, that doesn't break the chain. But they do have an action point as it had go again. They can probably play their card from Vanish. Coal. Okay, so let's pause before what I'm thinking. I would probably just coal the lessons, or not the lessons, the Kindle, and go search again. Just try and search for the other Kindle with lessons, so that way we don't have one less brick in the deck. We only have 2 energy potions, or you could hold on to the Kindle because it's super strong against their setup, and just Kano off the top looking for a potion, as we are due for one by now. Again, my playstyle, I'm looking for that extra Kindle, cut my bricks. I would like the bricks as low as possible when I combo. Let's see what I decided here. I could see lessons or Kindle being sent over. In my head at the current moment, I like Kindle being gone, as I can just search one potentially, or I'm stripping a card from their hand either way with them arcane burying. If they arcane barrier 4, that's 2 cards gone for combo purposes. I prefer to try and strip cards out of their hand, whereas Kindle is nice for setup, but my list is trying to maximize my in-between turns. The blue, am I just going to Tunic in Kindle? That's I guess, whereas you would have been better off sending, if I send it just for 3 off Tunic for 3, hold on to Kindle, search for a blue. What, another Gaze Ages? 9 to 38. Block, okay, that's an option. Okay, I'm really relying on drawing blues here, which is an interesting option. I am not doing any disruption. I think either of my 2 options that I said earlier are better than what I did here. Let's see what we draw into. If we draw into a bunch of blues. Okay, Will of Arcana is nice. We got lucky. Better lucky than good. So we can go 1, 2. So Staff, Metacarpus, Will. We can go 4. We can get over the Arcane Barrier 4. They still have Spell Void 2. And we have to get lucky with the top of the cards. We have not seen Eye of Affinia. I have 1 more Kindle left in the deck. Shadow Puppetry played. And they're losing a life. And then Vexing. They popped their arms. Maybe 3, that's even better now that we have Will and Kindle. They needed the rune chance to play whatever they banished. Deathly Whales on hit. I'm like, so here, I think we 100% need to do a blind Kano to see what we're even dealing with. We have so many potions. We have 2 energy potions, 3 deja vus at the bottom available to hit. So if we hit a deja vu, it's actually not that bad because we get the will. We get the will of Arcana back. We do have 2 energy potions. We get Gaze the Ages, which is a really good one to see after casting Wildfire to ensure any additional Kanos. So we can go here. If I'm seeing here Gaze the Ages, I would like to Kano, Boots, 2 floating, send Wildfire, send Kindle, send Gaze. So that way we Gaze the Ages, see what we're drawing up to for Kindle, and then we can either Kano a card that we see off top and then draw a blue, or we can also Ragamuffins Gaze the Ages again if we see nothing good. An energy potion, which would be kind of weird and resource intensive. The recycle Gaze the Ages again, but 100% I would prefer to go Kano, hold priority, Boots, Wildfire, potentially paying for staff beforehand. So like so it'd be Kano, staff, Boots resolve, resource from Tunic because we only have 1 floating, send Wildfire, send Kindle, send Gaze the Ages, and we could still respond to Metacarpus as well. But let's see what's the sequencing I choose. Yeah, Potion of Deja would be sick here. So here, do I hold priority or go for the blind? I am holding priority. Here I should probably do Boots. Okay. Do I do staff as well? Boots are popped. Yep, okay, sequencing is the same there.
Staff and amp would be separate, but they're going to go on the same card. So I'm going to keep track of the amp there.
This is very important. Staff, amp, and staff are separate. Staff goes on the next card you cast. Amp looks for the next card resolve. The first card resolving. That's the only arcane.
Metacarpus will be on the stack.
Okay, do I do Kindle then Gaze?
Currently it's buffed by 2, so it's.
Yeah, we got 6 coming in.
While that's on the stack, I'm gonna Gaze the Ages.
Yeah, sequencing between Kindle and Gaze is.
Will go back to my hand, but I will opt 2 first.
So we get to see either way. Here you would want to have this be your Kano. This be your Kindle, so you would go Kano with that, getting the yellow, Kindle the blue. Or you could Kano both and get the resources. They're at 32 with AB3 Spell Void 2, so it's 5.
I will leave both on top.
Okay, so yep, I have yellow on top. It should be Kano then Kindle to get the blue. And we still have a Kano that hasn't resolved yet either. Okay.
So another Kano here.
We realize that one still hasn't resolved without that.
And I will Kindle.
Okay, and we Kindle. Wildfire for 7 on their 5-2 would get through here at least. And now we have a blind Kano that we're unsure what it will be yet. So we have 7 coming through. We have none floating. I have enough resources that I should Metacarpus this to ensure that it goes to 8 on 5. That 3 gets through, and then everything else gets buffed by 3. Is what I should do because I have enough resources for another Kano plus here. Okay, I'll have 2 floating, which is good, so I can Metacarpus everything in between as well as needed. I will see what the blind Kano is before I send overflow, or I should. So yeah, we have 2 floating. We'll have potential 4. Here, honestly, I would love to see a Deja Vu potion to get Gaze the Ages back, but then that Will of Arcana would be kind of in the way. Lessons would be also another good one. So we do get the 3 coming through off their 8. We're at 29. We got Floodgates. which it should hit because they only have AB2 available. So even if the arcane barrier will still hit for. Yeah, this is. I can't do math. That's a blue one plus 3. It's 4.
Not 6. I thought this was the red one.
Oh yeah, my own mistake. I'm running out of dice. 4 coming in.
And if it deals more than 1,
Oh.
I'm gonna Kano.
We missed some footage here. Something got cut. I don't know what happened here. Some sort of filming error. So basically, it looked like we drew 2 blues. We sent overflow, saw sonic boom. We Kano'd again. And we got a flare banished somehow. So I don't know what happened with my recording. Apparently I'm missing a file because I had to stitch these together. But yeah, it looks like our sequencing was wildfire into floodgate into overflow. We saw sonic boom. Sonic boom hit that. Looks like we drew 2 blues. Sonic boom hit flare, and then flare is I Kano'd again to see Scour, and then we're just having a little chat on regards of it's declared as an attacker when those auras tick down, making additional targets for rune chant. But flare coming in for 6 is pretty big, and I have additional resources to blow up their rune chants on the stack. So we had a pretty interesting turn. I am upset that we lost that footage in regards to what we drew off Flood, but if we look at the pitch here, it is a Potion of Deja Vu and a looks like another blue overflow. Then since Flare hit for 6, the Scour coming in for 4 is coming in for 10, and they're at 9, so it's just perfect. Oh, and 4 plus 9. I forgot about the wildfire buff, so yeah, we were good. It could have been any other zap, but same difference. So we could Kano again because we had 4 available resources. And it had been blazing. Alright, so we did win. Again, some sequencing looked about on point. That double lessons one, I was still a bit confused. I wouldn't have been dead. I would have been able to strip some cards from their hand. Searching up for additional resources. And then the spindle, since they AB'd for the lesson, I 100% should have sent that spindle in the beginning of the game. If you guys have any additional critiques about what I should have done differently in the matchup, please let me know down below. Again, like, comment, and subscribe.